Gorgeous Georgians!
Did you know George I, King of England, actually came from Germany, and that made things a little tricky for him?
The Right Honourable Member of Parliament, Mr. Robert Walpole.
Your Majesty, I bring grave news, I'm afraid. The company we set up to profit from slave trading in South America has, it seems, been promising rather more than it can deliver. Without firm action, this crisis could well spell the end for both of us.
Was ist das?
Your English seems to have got worse again, Your Majesty.
Was?
Have you been back over to Germany again?
Ja. Ich liebe Deutschland, ja.
Yes, I know you love Germany. Some would say for an English king, you spend rather too much time there.
Was?
Nothing. We have a bit of a crisis.
Ja.
I'd like to help solve the crisis, but I don't have enough power.
Ja.
Do you understand me, or are you just repeating the word yes in German?
Ja.
Your Majesty, you cannot make this problem just go away simply by repeating yes after everything I say. Now I think about it. Would you like me to solve the crisis for you?
Ja.
And would you be willing to make me First Lord of the Treasury and Chancellor of the Exchequer? Basically making me in charge of the entire country. A sort of Prime Minister?
Was?
No, the other word.
Ja.
That's the one. Well, thank you very much. If you wouldn't mind just signing there, make it all official. Wonderful. Well, that's that then. While I think about it, would it be okay for the country to buy me a nice big house? You know, as Prime Minister?
No problem.
Oh, did you understand that? Or are you just saying some English words you remembered?
No problem?
Yep, thought as much.
Auf Wiedersehen.
The Royal Doctor, Your Majesty.
Doctor? I don't need a doctor. I was just telling the Prussian ambassador here.
That is a pot plant, Your Majesty.
Oh, yes, so it is. Well, as I was just telling this pot plant here, I feel as fit as a pig in Sweden.
Seize the patient.
What are you doing? Unhand me, you knaves!
I'm afraid His Majesty is quite mad.
Mad? I'm absolutely furious!
Please, His Majesty must see that he's not well.
I suppose I have been a bit off colour.
As has his wee-wee. Bright purple.
Yes, thank you. I think we'll leave the diagnosis and treatment to those of us trained in the medical profession. Only science can provide the solution. Science and mustard.
Mustard? What a good idea. I'm a sausage. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle.
Yes, that's clearly not working. We'll try another Georgian cure.
Oh, splendid. What's that?
I'm not going to blind you with science. Just assault you with this red-hot poker. It's quite simple, really. We just wait for a blister to appear and then poop.
Is this really supposed to cure him?
Yes, that and shouting at him. Stop being mad! Get better! We Georgian doctors have made great strides in the treatment of this affliction. Get better!
Shouldn't we be giving him some sort of medicine?
Oh, I already have. He's on a spoonful of arsenic twice a day.
Arsenic?
Yes, mixed in with some other stuff.
But arsenic is highly poisonous. You're going to make him worse.
Worse? Are you trying to tell me that I, the king's own physician, am making the king worse? Are you insane?
Insane?
Because if you are insane, I shall have to treat you too.
Why don't I help you treat him? Yes, you!
Oh!
Stop being mad!
Get better!
Grow up!
Don't act weird all the time!
Just stop it!
Previously on Georgian Come Dine With Me, George III served up a plate of branches.
Welcome to my dining room. Now, who wants a steak from my beef tree? Oh, of all the fathers in all the world, he had to be mine.
Friend of the Prince Regent and famous dandy Beau Brummel didn't have time to serve anything at all, but looked absolutely gorgeous after taking his usual 5 hours to get dressed.
Ta-da!
Oh, I don't believe it. One of my cuffs is a millimetre longer than the other. Do you chaps mind if I change?
Yes!
And famous traveller, surgeon and entrepreneur Dean Mahomet brought the others to the first ever Indian restaurant in London, where they experienced a rare treat called curry.
I fear the taste may be a little strong for the British palate. It's unlikely to find many fans over here.
Are you going to finish that?
It's day 4, and with his guests on the way, the Prince Regent and future George IV heads down to the kitchen. But he's got some bad news for his chef.
Basically, everyone's favourite prince is horribly in debt. So tonight, if you could just give us the absolute basic minimum. Okay, 60 courses of the finest European cuisine. Got to tighten one's belt while the money's short. And Dad's still got control of the royal purse. No, my luck, he's probably eaten it.
George's personal cook is celebrity chef Antonin Carême, the man who invented haute cuisine.
Yes, Antonin's worked for all the greats. Me, Napoleon, the Tsar of Russia. And me.
Good food can be very simple. Take ma vol au vent.
Don't mind if I do.
Breadcrumbs, mushrooms, nutmeg, cream, lobster tails, chicken jellies, calf's udders, lamb's glands, sheep's brain.
Yes, what simple dish isn't complete without a bit of sheep's brain? Don't think George likes it. The Prince Regent's guests have arrived and are ready to eat, although King George is having trouble parking his invisible kangaroo.
Whoa, kangaroo! Down by.
As usual, the meal is served à la française, which means put everything on the table and grab whatever you possibly can.
Oi, save some for me.
Chillax, George, there are 60 courses. Time for those all-important scores. It's a stylish 7 from Beau Brummel.
The food was awful.
But as he'll be needing help from the Prince Regent to open a bathhouse in Brighton, Dean Mahomet's given him a 10. And it's a chicken from George III, meaning the winner of the £1,000 is...
It's me! I won! Yes! Get in so much! Yes, I can finally start paying off my debts! Oh, thank you. I promise to use this money responsibly. Or we could all go for supper. On me.
Oh, George, how do you do it? How do you look so fabulous? George, you are worth it.
Your Highness, I have some dreadful news.
Powdered wigs aren't coming back, are they?
It's far graver news than that, I'm afraid. Sir, I must tell you, your father is dead.
Yes! Get in! Get in! Ugh.
Sir, I think you may have misheard me.
Dad's dead. Dad's dead. Oh, gosh, I'm king.
Ah, you didn't. Sir, shouldn't you be... upset?
Upset? I'm nearly 60 years old. I know I don't look it. It's very good of you to say.
I wasn't going to, but...
I've been a bog-standard prince for nearly 60 years. Nearly 60 years I've been waiting for my father to kick the bucket.
Yes, but, sir, I have to advise you that your subjects will expect you to be grief-stricken, in floods of tears.
Tears? This is better than Christmas!
George, have you heard the news?
You bet I have!
Congratulations, Your Majesty.
My Majesty.
Your Majesty.
My Majesty.
Your Majesty.
All right.
Sir, are you sure you can't squeeze out just a small tear?
Certainly not, Thickwig. I only cry about things that matter. Sir, how do I look for my coronation?
Spectacular.
Look at my calves.
Very muscular, very manly.
I'll tell you a secret. It's padding.
Padding? Well, that explains the seat of your trouser.
What?
Well, between yousies and meesies, there might be a tad too much pad on the old derriere.
Padding? There's no padding there. He thinks I'm fat. He thinks I'm fat.
You know what might help? What about if you wore a corset?
I am wearing a corset.
Well, at least he's crying now.
Oh, the poor prince.
I'm not a prince. I'm a king now. Get out.
He's a king.
Out. Oh, I'm fat. I need a chocolate.
King George IV is well known for his love of art, fashion, architecture, Catholic women, and food. Vast amounts of food.
I can hear you. I can hear you when you say that.
But today, we aim to find out the truth about his past, tracing his family tree as we ask the question, George IV, who on earth are you? we've enlisted the help of leading family historian Sir Francis Guesswork, who has come here to Windsor Castle to meet the king himself.
Well, from the records I found so far, birth certificates and that sort of thing, I think there's a very strong possibility that you are descended from royalty.
Well, of course I'm descended from royalty. I'm king!
Oh, so you knew?
Well, my dad was king, my great-grandfather was king, and his father was king, so, yeah, I had an inkling.
Oh. Ah, but did you know that your great-great-great-uncle's father was also a king?
Yes, King Charles I, beheaded by the Puritans.
Right. Ah, but did you know that your great-great-great-great-great-great...
Oh, this is boring!
What are you doing? Well, how am I meant to research your relative without my notes?
Well, we can go and pay them a visit if you like.
How? They're dead.
The family tomb's in a little chapel on the castle grounds. Oh. Come on, let's go and have a look.
In an unusual twist on what normally happens in this show, the King of England has taken our historian into St George's Chapel to prod some of his dead relatives. It's all gone a bit weird, really.
Here we are. Who would you like to see first?
I don't really want to see anyone.
Oh, you big girl. Look, Henry VIII. Yes, he was a big lad. 6'3" or just under. Do you know how I know that? I got drunk and measured him. Right, who should we look at next? I know, Charles I. I found his tomb the other day, but I haven't opened it yet.
But I thought he was beheaded.
No, they stitched his head back on, and they've buried him here. Oh, this one's sealed nice and tight. Yeah. There he is. There's old Charlie.
It's very well preserved.
Well, it's a well-built tomb, you see. Still had its airtight seal.
Fascinating.
Trouble is, of course, the body disintegrates rather quickly once the air gets to it. You know, bones crumbling, skin cracking, eyes popping.
Eyes popping?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh! Oh, I guess you could say that King Charles has got his eye on you. Oh. Honestly, some people have no respect for the dead.
I'm George the Fourth, the Regent King, which means I was just standing in, acting king because my dad, George the Third, had gone barking mad.
Banana!
Great palaces I did design, Buckingham was one of mine. Art and fashion I so rated.
And wives?
That's more complicated. Actresses and duchesses, the great loves of my life. I loved more girls than I ate pies, but I couldn't stand my wife.
He couldn't stand his wife.
Go away. I only married Queen Caroline when my debts began to climb, 'cause if I agreed to tie the knot,
I said I'd pay off the lot.
But the wedding caused all sorts of strife, 'cause I already had a wife.
A divorced Catholic?
Dad did sigh, but the mad old goat just wouldn't die.
Still here? Oop, spoke too soon.
At last I can go solo. As true king my reign began, though I was now older than your nan. And as the ruler of our nation, I banned my wife from my coronation. And knowing now that I did hate her, she promptly died just 3 weeks later. But all those pies that I got through meant 10 years later I died too.
Hello, have we met? I'm a kangaroo.
Actresses, duchesses, the great loves of my life. I love more girls than I ate pies, but I couldn't stand my wife. I had just 10 years on the throne. Do you remember that? No, all that you remember is I was really fat.
Please welcome to Horrible Histories, the 4 King Georges of the Georgian era with Born to Rule.
I took the throne of England just 'cause I was Protestant, a German. prince whose English thank King George #1.
I like to argue, now that's clear, especially with my father here. And when he died of diarrhea, I fought with my son.
I broke records with my 60-year reign. And I broke the scales with my giant frame. Born to rule over you, King George 4, 3, 1,
and 2.
You had to do what we told you to, just because our blood was blue.
I was a hunk, girls adored me, ladies all swooned before me. They would do anything for me, or I'd have their husbands killed.
Had a war with Prince Charles Bonny.
Everyone said that I was funny. I spent everyone's money. Our subjects were not thrilled.
I was the sad one,
and I was the bad one.
I was the mad one, and I was the fat one. We were born to rule over you. George's
1,
3, 4,
and 2.
England's kings.
Oh, we were drawn to
him,
then him,
then me, then you. We were born to rule over you. Born to rule.
Forged on fruit, then I died on the loop.
People hated us,
and we hated them too. Born to rule over you. Born to rule over you. Me, I was as batty as a bunker's kangaroo. Me, I would have been more at home in a zoo. And now our song is through.
George's
banana.